Arizona. Saturday night, Gila River Resort Casino Wild Horse Pass, and it will be live streamed on Kick. And we are fortunate to have Harrison Rogers, the entrepreneur who basically brought this all to life, and also part of F3 Energy. And you just heard a nice montage from Jax on Quentin Rampage Jackson, who is here as well, as we are live at Twin Peaks in Tempe as we get you ready for the big fights on Saturday. And first, I'll say hello to both you guys. Appreciate you guys making some time to come on out here. And just for Rampage specifically, this is not a podcast yet. So we're not allowed to, no profanity. No profanity. No profanity. No. So I know you have your podcast this quite well, and you can say anything you want, but iHeartRadio and the guys in the suits, they get a little upset when it's been so bad with us for 20 years that the delay used to be 5 seconds. Now it's 15.
How you guys deal with no profanity?
Yeah. Well, just kind of over-the-air family show kind of thing, and that's Fox Sports on top of all that.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got to be cool about that. Be very careful.
All right.
Well, let's first start with Harrison. Talk about the UFL and why it's back and where you want to go with it.
It has been a blast, meeting legends like Rampage Jackson. I met Rampage through another legend, Frank Mir. We kind of put on a one-and-done show in Miami, and we got talking about, as a fan, I was like, so tell me all about. And, of course, it turns into some of the issues that MMA has seen with fighters not getting paid very well, health insurance and all the stuff us original OG MMA fans are aware of. But still, for some reason, 20 years later, not much has changed. And so as an entrepreneur, at heart, and I heard that challenge, and I said, challenge accepted. But Rampage and Frank, of course, have heard multiple people say, oh, I'll do a promotion better a million times. So, of course, they were hesitant. But, man, after the first event, when we started UFL 1, they said, hey, this Harrison guy might not be full of crap. And so we became the first combat league to provide full health insurance to its signed fighters, retirement benefits with shares in the company, and it just became really good friends where they started seeing, hey, I truly do want to change this MMA game, and this is just step one. Rampage is really excited for step 2 that we'll announce at the event this Saturday. This is our first championship bout card this Saturday, and I'll let Rampage talk about me hopefully proving him wrong, maybe right, because just real quick, let me preface something. He said the words to me when we were talking about, if I make F3 Energy, if I make UFL the first combat league with health insurance, and all, he said, you're going to be a legend. And I knew I wouldn't be a legend as a fighter. And so when he said I could be a legend in the MMA world, I was like, So hopefully I can prove him right.
Yeah. Harrison Rogers really impressed me because, I'm a fighter, and it's one thing that I always kind of wanted to see happen in this sport, because like a lot of football players and basketball players, you guys might not know this, but MMA fighters, we're kind of jealous of them. And you used to be which one? You was a
former quarterback.
Yeah. Do you still get a pension and all that?
Yes, I do.
Shut up.
Yes, I do.
Shut up.
Started 3 years ago.
See, we all jealous of guys like you, because we go out there, and I think MMA is one of the hardest sports out there, because we got to train for so many different things, and then we retired, and there's nothing for us. Like a lot of the pioneers of my sport, I don't want to talk bad about anybody, but a lot of them they're not doing well financially. And I think that there should be some type of organization, taking care of them a little bit, helping them out a little bit. Like, one of our pioneers, and we all love him. All the fighters look up to him. He had to do GoFundMe just to get hip surgery and stuff like that. That's not fair. So Harrison pulled it off.
So does that mean that with UFL, medical, life insurance, and things like that are part of it?
Yeah, you.
Hallelujah!
Yeah, wow. Yeah, you sign a multi-fight contract with us. We put you on our group coverage plan, which is, a lot of people are like, oh, you have this glorified, health insurance savings account, and that's not. We're a full PPO that you get a cold, you go in and you have a co-pay and get taken care of just like every other normal working employee.
But I'm sorry to cut you off, but my thing is that he even giving people shares in the company.
Oh, yeah, stake in the company.
You get stake in the company, right?
We build this thing together and we all benefit. Can you imagine if Rampage or Frank Mir had a little piece of that cell that UFC went through?
You guys put it on the map, right? I mean, you
Yeah.
really did.
Yeah, I still got pain every day from fighting in the big shows,
So that's what is for what you're saying is that the fact that you guys weren't taken care of after is really a sore point.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, is it? You think it's ever going to change? Because the sport seems like when there used to be UFC fights, it was every quarter. You go pay-per-view. It was big. Now it seems like there's fights every weekend.
Right. So I'm calling out all MMA fans right now. Like the MMA fans, the one thing I hear them talking down on the fighters that on our sport that we're not taking care of well enough. Now Harrison Rogers did it with the UFL. It's a new company. It's growing, so we need the fans to learn about this and support us. And then if this event get big enough, and then more fans jump on it and follow us, all you gotta do is pay attention. You don't gotta, you know what I'm saying? We don't got pay-per-views or anything. It's not gonna really cost you anything. All you gotta do is watch and support and everything, and then the rest of the MMA world would follow suit. It'll get big enough, and then where Harrison can keep growing the company, and we get bigger fighters, and then it becomes the norm. Then everybody got to follow suit.
I think the one thing everybody you would think would follow, so this was already in place. So I'm kind of shocked with the UFL to hear that, hey, first of all, to get to the fighters and say, hey, look, I got this great idea. I would you guys be, hey, where do I sign up? Because I think fans think, okay, with all the pay-per-view and the money you're making, they can take care of themselves. Little do you know, there's no medical. You got to have your own medical, which we all know is out. You can charge out the wazoo. But what motivated you to come up with this idea to take this bull by the horns? It's a big challenge for you. Number one, to set it and then get to these guys and sell it.
Yeah, it actually happened backwards. I met these guys and then we built it together because, luckily I come from a background where I have companies that do have group health insurance coverages. I have, hundreds of employees that I have to insure. And so understanding that beforehand allowed me to not just talk out of my rear of saying, you know what, if we build this, league, I can do it because I do understand the hurdles of group insurance in, adding fighters to a policy goes a lot of underwriting, it gets expensive really quickly. And so not to get too technical with the insurance policy and some of the legislations that require a large company with hundreds of employees that require them to offer health insurance, it actually also provided me the ability to have to insure fighters, which normally they would just decline.
Right.
So it kind of used the legislation that requires me to insure. It also it allows me to insure. So that was kind of fun to jiu-jitsu that kind of need. But I've been an MMA fan since I was a kid. Growing up watching Rampage do his iconic slams and whatnot.
Whoa! You aging me over here.
What I meant was not grow up. I watched it.
You was already grown.
I was already grown.
You was already grown when that happened, right?
His younger days, Rampage. His younger days.
Well, yeah. Hey, we're gonna step aside real quick. We're gonna talk about the UFL this weekend, the type of fighters. I also want to get into some of what you're doing now, Rampage. And, rumors of you fighting in June in Qatar, and want to let the talk about that and your fear of flying. So I want to get into all good stuff. The United Fight League is back this Saturday at Gila River Resort Casino, Wild Horse Pass, and we have some tickets for you right now. We'll take 3 callers, and we'll hook you up with a pair of tickets for Saturday night, 602-260-9191. And you can also get tickets on your own by just going to the Gila River Resort Casino Wild Horse Pass website. And again, it's at Chandler this Saturday. It's going to be huge. We got Rampage Jackson here. We got Harrison Rogers, who runs the UFL, and F3 Energy, which is here in town. Speaking of that, Rampage, when did you get involved in this?
Well, I was involved with F3 Energy as soon as Harrison thought it up. He was like,
so you're a pioneer in MMA and a pioneer in F3.
Well, I can't take credit of the energy drink, but Harrison, I'm going to be honest. Harrison wanted to do an energy drink so he can give the fighters more, say more capital. I don't understand all the business stuff.
Sure.
So, but he was like, with fighting, it probably take me longer to, give the fighters more money. Let me do an energy drink. I was like, Harrison, don't do an energy drink because the market is so competitive.
Yeah.
And he was like, nah, I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make a healthy one. and he did it. He made a real healthy energy drink. It got all this ginseng, BCAAs, and Giga Galoba and stuff. And I was like, man, this guy did he did the unthinkable. He made actually a healthy energy.
It's kind of an oxymoron, a healthy energy drink.
I know, yeah.
I mean, when you hear that, you have to explain it here. Let me tell you why. And as Rampage just said, you're using terms there that are like healthy terms.
Ginkgo, BCAA, ginseng, all that good stuff.
Hey, I'm with you, Harrison. I'm dialed into the citrus. You and I, man.
Yeah, I love this. I love
I do
citrus.
too. Yeah,
The citrus is my favorite. It's my favorite flavor. Like when I have it at home and I have all the different flavors, citrus is always the one that's out. Everybody loves it.
Yep.
But it's my favorite.
Yep, me too.
Now, a lot of people like the original and stuff as well, and the different moves, like the peach moves, real popular. And even the original tastes. Some people say it tastes like cotton candy, but this, for some reason, I love the citrus.
Well, so Harrison, putting the two together makes sense. I mean, where did that brainstorm come from?
I come from a mental behavioral health background. That was like my previous businesses.
Right.
And so I always wanted to have, and as a energy drink abuser growing up, I had a heart attack. And not only
young guy
at 19, I woke up after surgery. And so not only wanted to have a healthier energy drink, that I'll never make the claim doesn't give you heart palpitations, but as somebody who had a heart attack, it doesn't give me heart palpitations with the cleaner energy source of a green tea extract, as well as the vitamin B12 compounds that allow just a little bit of a cleaner energy, but also the mental benefits. As we stimulate our bodies, inevitably anxiety goes up, mental cloudiness, different, you're compromising your mental capabilities by jacking yourself with caffeine.
Tell me this. When I play Call of Duty, I notice I play better after I drink it. I'm serious. I'm 5 years old and I be playing Call of Duty with kids, and I sit there, I drink one, I notice that I'm getting like I play Warzone. And then I'm getting like top 10. I'm getting top 3.
You're dialed in. That's a commercial right there.
I didn't know it did anything with my clarity.
It's got to be the F3.
We're blowing up.
Got to be the F3.
We're blowing up on on Kick streaming content because of the gamers. That's one of the big things they talk about is they're energy drink connoisseurs. They know what they drink to help them stay up late at night as they're gaming. But you also need to be focused and. I'm getting back into Halo, but they're quick and they're fast. I'm like, how are they doing this? And I drink that 3. I'm like, ha. Now I got the edge.
Yeah, I'm gonna start drinking 2 now. I didn't know. I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
But then to your point, to finish what you're saying, it didn't make sense for me at the time to create a product with the business I was in, just because we didn't have the audience or the platform to really go mainstream. Sure. But when I started United Fight League with Rampage and Frank, we needed to find sponsors to pay for those things. And, Monster Energy Drink, Red Bull, all those are traditional sponsors you go after. But because we were a new promotion, understandably, they weren't writing us the big enough checks that I thought we deserved. And so I was like, I don't want to make a rich company richer when this is what I want to do anyway. So we doubled down on ourselves. We created F3 Energy, which, like he was saying, not everybody says they have a healthy energy drink, Celsius. Everybody's wanting to go healthier. And, we're trying to prove it. We're trying to actually, Celsius and all these other companies are getting pulled from shelves for different reasons. And luckily ours is flying through all these new regulations because of the stuff that we formulated. So I'm really proud of our formulation. And it's just like Rampage was saying, it's another way for our fighters to get compensated, because the shares that they had originally with UFL, I gave them shares in F3. So we all grow together. We all build together, and we'll all eat together is what we say a lot.
Rampage, you got a true partner with Harrison. You really do. I mean, the league has a true partner that has your best interest. Think about it. There's not a lot of leagues that have your best interest at heart, and I came from one, National Football League, and you got a guy that does. That's rare. You realize how rare that is?
I know how rare it is. That's why I got Harrison back on anything he want to do. He proved himself time and time again. Like fighters, we meet all the different promoters and they sell us dreams. We hear everything before, but Harrison, he backs up what he says he's going to do. You know, and he teaching me a lot about business, as you guys can tell. I'm a fighter. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I know how to make people laugh, and I know how to knock people out.
But you're also, for those people that don't follow MMA, you're a movie star too.
You are.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, you know, for you and for you to be with Bradley Cooper and Jessica Biel, I mean, what a great cast you had, and
Liam Neeson.
Oh, geez,
Yeah,
I mean,
Shato Copley. Those guys were
how
great.
much fun was that?
That was, you know, that was some of the best times I had ever on a movie set. I don't know how many of you guys know about being on a movie set, but it can be very stressful because sometimes you get the directors that they some of them kind of mean and they yell and cuss out some of the actors, the lower actors and stuff. But the director of this film, Joe Carnahan, him and I have become really good friends. We still great friends till today. He was like the one of the easiest guy to work with, stress free, laughing the whole time, and then Liam Neeson and Bradley Cooper, and so I've learned so much from them. And Shato Copley and him and I became brothers, and so I'm on this set for 6 months. So I'm
6 months.
Yeah, I'm working with these people every day for 6 months. So you get, after a while, you grow to love people and get to know people, and it was a great experience for me. That's still the biggest movie I ever did.
Gives you a great appreciation of how hard the work is.
Oh, it's really hard. Acting and stuff is really hard. I gained a lot more respect for it because before then I only did mostly like B movies and like little small roles here and there. But that it, you know,
Paycheck's good too, though, right? Paycheck's pretty good.
If I'm gonna be honest, I lost money doing 18. I lost money.
What?
I'm a fighter, man. I was fighting.
So you couldn't work out. You weren't training.
I couldn't. I make more money when I fight.
Yeah.
So I took the 18 movie over a fight because I was such a big fan of the TV show.
But it helped your brand, didn't it? Did it help you, Rampage?
Too.
Well, I don't want to get into it, but it was supposed to help my brand. But if I'm gonna be honest, I like to be honest. Somebody wasn't happy that I took a movie over a fight. So in the long run, I didn't benefit from it. But if I had to do it all over, I would do it again. It was a great experience.
Let me ask you about fighting just for a moment here, because we've been all around the world here, and I want to focus in. When people watch MMA fighters and they begin with stand up and it's throw, then if somebody shoots, takes them to the ground, then it's interesting to see what happens. Please explain what goes on when you are on the ground, because a lot of people who don't know MMA that much don't understand what you have to do when you are on the ground to protect yourself.
Well, that's a good question, because honestly, 10 years ago in America, if the fight went to the ground, people would boo. They understand. So when you go to the ground, guys, the new MMA fans, when the fight goes to the ground, don't count the guy out that's on his back. The guy on his back still can win the fight out of nowhere if he's good with jiu-jitsu. But the guy on the top, you know what I'm saying, a lot of times you would say that yes, he's in the best position. But that's not always true. But when I was on top, I used to like to ground and pound, baby. I'm trying to knock them out from the top. My thing is, I know how to submit people and stuff like that, but that wasn't my strong suit. But I felt like my brand, my fans, that I just had in my brain that I think they'd rather see the referee pull me off of somebody than me to have somebody tap out, right? So that's me. But you got all these different type of fighters. That's why I love MMA. If you go to the ground, guys, the new fans, don't count the guy out that's on his back, because he can pull off a submission out of nowhere. Depends on how good he is.
Hey, we're going to take another break here, but we want to give you another opportunity to win some tickets to come out and see the UFL 4 at Gila River Casino on Saturday night. We'll take callers 3 and 4 and 5 at 602-260-9191 and you win yourself a pair of tickets on Harrison and Rampage. So we appreciate you guys taking care of our listeners, and we'll do that, and then we'll continue talking. Rocky Manuch and Jimmy B out here at Twin Peaks in Tempe as we are talking about UFL 4, United Fight League. It's back. UnitedFightLeague.com for tickets. This Saturday night kicks off Gila River Resort and Casino, Wild Horse Pass. And we got Rampage and Harrison Rogers, the CFO. See, what is the title?
I just tried to get out of the way.
I see entrepreneur.
Yeah, there we
is that
go.
what it is? Okay.
I try to have a vision, but it's our team that's running with it. So CEO is, I guess, technically what you can say,
All right,
but
well, there goes CEO.
it sounds a little too
That's on the business card.
posh. I don't want to be.
So I want to ask
Yeah.
Rampage. We bring on a lot of former athletes, okay, and we like to bring on. We have they come on and they hear sound. They hear like a play-by-play. Do you like hearing a fight that you just heard? Does it take you back to 10, 20 years ago?
Yeah, that was actually pretty good because I'm in there fighting, so I don't hear that part of it. But as long as I don't hear myself speak, I'm good.
So what are you doing? What are you doing now in your life?
Well,
other than obviously being part of F3 and UFL, but what else are you doing?
Yeah, that's like my main priority right now. But that's not an everyday thing. Honestly, Harrison Rogers does all the heavy lifting, and he just uses my pretty face.
I can see
But
that.
then I do a podcast. It's like an MMA boxing podcast called Jackson Podcast, and then I do a podcast with Harrison Rogers. How you pronounce that one?
It's HDR Experiment. Not very original, right?
yeah.
Joe Rogan, thanks.
Yeah, we do that, and then I still do movies here and there, and I'm training boxing a lot now because I'm a little bit older and my knees is not the same to keep doing all these wrestling and stuff. So I'm training boxing. I want to do at least one boxing match before I retire. Like this, the crazy thing is everybody thinks I retired. But I never retired yet, and I just haven't fought since COVID.
So when you hear Tyson versus Paul,
I'm jealous.
Because the payday or because the fight?
Because the fight. I wanted to get in there with Mike Tyson.
Well, I thought you were going to say Paul.
Why don't you call him out?
Oh yeah. Paul would never get in there with me.
Okay.
Jake Paul would never. Neither Paul. I already told him I will fight them. I will fight them. They could be tag team partners for all I know.
So you would want to fight a Mike Tyson right now?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good fight. We both older. He's a little bit older than me. I think that'd be a good. I'll do it. I look up to him.
Okay.
I'm one of his biggest fans.
Could you take care of him? Would you think? No doubt, right?
What?
You'd beat his ass.
Oh yeah. Mike Tyson, he'll have to get it because I'm a different animal because boxing and MMA is a bit different. Yeah, he got the experience and he's a better boxer and stuff than me. But it's just like I think MMA we just have a different type of we just a little bit more aggressive. I think boxers they set up their punches and stuff more. MMA guys every last one of our punches we aim to knock you out.
All right, then here's my follow-up to that because a lot of MMA guys have participated in boxing matches. So how difficult is it for an MMA guy who's used to having kicks, used to shooting for the takedown? Now you have to stand, protect yourself, and fire that left jab.
Bro, it's a big disadvantage. I'm not going to lie. As I'm training pure boxing, I've been training boxing for a long time now, but it's for MMA. But now I'm just training pure boxing, and I feel like a newborn duckling or something. I'm tripping all over myself. And the coaches keep talking bad about my footwork and everything and moving out the way. I said, screw this. I'm just going to stand in front of somebody. I ain't going to be moving around. I'm a heavyweight. They get kind of mad and I get frustrated. So I got a lot of respect for boxing. But I'll tell you this, you like a fish out of water. But boxers will be the same way if they came into MMA. No doubt, if any MMA fighter gets in the ring with a boxer, the boxer should win.
But Mike Tyson would be different if you fought him.
Yeah, but me, I'm different. I'm different. If I get in the ring with Mike Tyson, he going out. He going to sleep.
So my question is, to get started MMA, be a better wrestler, better jiu-jitsu, what comes first? Or you got to be efficient at both? Because, when you go down, I see these guys that are fairly decent, but when I see guys up. So what? Cart before the horse? Or?
Man, you guys got some really good questions. I'm very impressed.
We're intrigued.
I see. So this is the thing. I'll let it answer itself. Most of the MMA champions from throughout the past in history has been wrestling based.
Okay.
So I'm a wrestler, even though I didn't wrestle a whole lot, and I came to wrestling late, and I didn't wrestle a lot in my fights because I love punching. I love throwing these bowls. But look at Chuck Liddell. Chuck Liddell was like a great striker, one of the most dominant champions, but he was a great wrestler. A lot of people didn't know that. and he used his wrestling where you couldn't take him down, so he forced you to stand with him. So I was a wrestler first, and I like same thing. Wrestlers do better. I would rather be a wrestler learning jiu-jitsu, but this I'm talking 25 years ago.
Right.
25 years ago. But now, if I'm being honest, now that when people are starting, like the new up-and-comers, they're starting to do MMA, they're coming to the sport already knowing 3 different martial arts. And when I came to the sport, I knew wrestling. Then I learned the other 2 things. Then I learned boxing. So now I know 4 martial arts.
3.
So the disciplines are so important from that standpoint for you to learn. I remember it was Tony who got into the cage, and he fought, and the name escapes me who he fought, but Tony thought that he was just going to box him, and the guy gave him a couple of head fakes, shot him, took him right to the mat.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
You're talking about James Toney versus Randy Couture.
Couture, that's it. That's the match. Thank you.
Yeah, I remember that fight because I'm going to be honest with you. Not to talk crap about Dana White of the UFC, but I thought that was a stupid matchup.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you got a guy like James Toney, a boxer that finally got some moxie, that could get in the cage with a real fighter, because MMA is like the closest thing to real fighter, and you put him against a wrestler, somebody that's like Randy Couture. They should have put James Toney against a Kimbo Slice.
Oh, now that would have been fun.
That would have been fun, right? That would have been a good, exciting war.
Yes.
Oh, man.
That would have been fun.
Right?
Yes.
Right? I should be a promoter one day.
You should be.
Oh, thank you.
How did you get the nickname Rampage?
My cousin named me that when I was 8 years old. I used to play the video game, and he said I used to act like the characters on the video game.
Okay. It's that easy. It's stuck.
It stuck with me, yeah.
So there's not a lot of people that call you Quentin, do that. It's Rampage. How about like the ladies? Would it be
the
Quentin,
ladies,
or they call you Rampage?
It depends. Some ladies like I married a woman in Japan, and she's always called me Rampage because they can't say R. Rampage. Rampage. Most girls I date, they call me Rampage. But over the years, I started introducing myself as Quentin, but because I got tired of when I introduced myself, or somebody introduced me to a woman, and she was like, "What's your mama name you? What's your mama name you?" But it's the weirdest thing. Some people call me all different things. I never tell people what to call me. Some people call me Ram. Some people call me Paige. Some people call me Q, and some people call me Quentin. It's just.
So as you get older, you get more sophisticated. So Quentin might be becoming more appropriate than Rampage. I mean,
Quentin Jackson joining us here today.
Moving up the ladder.
All I got from that is that I'm getting older, and I'm not happy with that. I'm about to see you outside later. I'm still a kid. Didn't y'all hear I still play video games?
Yes.
I ain't never growing up.
So you play Mike Tyson knockout?
Yeah, I used to play Mike Tyson punch out. I couldn't get past ball bull. That game was so hard.
Hey, thank you, both of you guys, for coming down. Appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck in UFL. I know it's going to kick some you-know-what, and we're excited to be part of it, and we're going to help you along this ride. So I think it's great, and F3 is a great partner of yours, and obviously you guys are partners. Yeah, and ours. So we're pretty excited about the partnership and making sure we fill the house. And what's after UFL 4? I mean, obviously
UFL 5.
But come on. Well,
that's phase 2. That's what we're saying.
So there's some announcements.
There's some big announcements coming. Okay. I haven't even told Rampage about it yet.
All right, we're gonna get. So let's do this as we say goodbye. Let's give away another 3 pairs of tickets. 602-260-9191, and you'll be out there on Saturday. If you can't get tickets winning right now, it's just go to UnitedFightLeague.com. And you'll be out there, Rampage?
Yeah, I'll be out there.
Do you have your own Sharpie? You sign it when you're out there?
If you guys win the tickets, come up to me and take a picture and tell me that you won the tickets.
Okay, we'll do that.
So I can be excited to see you.
Give you some signed gloves.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay. Y'all heard Harrison? If you won the tickets, come see me. You get some signed gloves.
So as we let you go, give us a Mr. T call out or
shut up, fool.
Can you just say, Jimmy B, shut up, fool?
Jimmy B, shut up, sucker. Hey, I didn't use no person.
No, that's all right, man. That was directed at me, and I loved it.
All right.
That's Jimmy B. Good job.
I loved it.